do you have any favorite graphs? Because when I work with companies, I think the one type of graph that is overused is probably pie charts, because they are just a snapshot. There's definitely a role for them. I'm not a pie chart hater. I think if you want to show a percentage out of 100, it's a great way to visualize it. But what I find is that the one graph that is probably most underused is a line graph that shows trends. So for me, having the ability to show how things change over time, predicting things into the future, so many graphs that show you this is where we are today, this is how we compare to a target, instead of actually painting the whole picture and then having comparisons in there as well with how your competitors are doing, how benchmarks are performing. What's your view on that?
Yeah, I think so. To answer your question, my favorite chart would have to be a bar chart. And I think that's because anyone can understand a bar chart very, very easily. Anyone can read it. And by anyone, I mean even 3.5-year-old, 4-year-old children, because I actually taught, I didn't teach a course in my child's kindergarten, but it was career day, and I came to talk about data visualization. And I remember we were building a chart on like a whiteboard with crayons and stuff. And they actually got it. They understood it the second I told them what we're doing. And the exercise there was about 20 kids, and I actually had Skittles, and they had to choose one color Skittles, and then we would add up. Let's say 6 kids chose red, or 3 kids chose yellow. The problem with that, if anyone wants to do the exercise, is a lot of kids just ate their Skittles before we got to count it. They had their hands were all colored because the candy was melting. So definitely use something else if you're going to do this experiment. But what struck me was they all understood the fact that, okay, we have 5 Skittles here, so let's draw the line up to 5. And all of them got it. It wasn't like 2 or 3 of the 20 children understood it. And the reason I tell that story is because I try to actually avoid using any of the fancier charts, like the waterfall charts or the radial charts, because it takes people time, right? It goes back to cognitive load and how long it takes somebody to understand what they're looking at. So I try to keep it as simple as possible. So I do use the line charts and the bar charts, and I have used pie charts. I think they are effective if you're using them properly, right? If you're not visualizing more than 3 or 4 slices. And I actually turn them into donuts just because I think they look a little bit nicer. And I feel like it's easier for me to view them with donuts, which simply is just a hole in the middle of a pie chart for those who are not familiar. But yeah, they're definitely best practices for using pie charts, right? Like you can use color to help differentiate the pie slices. I think it gets a lot of hate out there because there are some pie charts that are put out there that maybe don't add up to 100%, or in some cases the slices are almost identical and it's hard to tell the difference between which slice is bigger, which one is smaller. And I think we can avoid that by adding the actual percentage onto the pie chart so people don't have to do the guesswork.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right that sometimes we need to think a little bit more about, initially you need to plan your data visualization. And I think once you've done it, it's really useful to step back from this and look at it critically and say, is this actually easy to read? Is this really helping someone to understand the message? Because it's so easy, as you said, to just click a few buttons and send this off to people.
Yeah, I think it's actually even better if you have somebody else look at it.